the end of January 2023, and that means it's time for another In the Mix. It was a month defined by recession fears and mass layoffs.
We're finally starting to see consumers rein in their spending.
But in the restaurant industry, there appears to be optimism.
Every single executive that we heard speak this week said they felt really good about 2023.
Restaurant operators getting craftier in how they manage and scale their businesses.
One of the things that we look at is, our unique double-sided grill. So that allows our high traffic locations to make, more than 300 burgers in an hour.
This as consumers reach for mocktails to celebrate dry January, and research has found that this trend could continue for the months to come. As a result, restaurants and bars are turning to new ways to jazz up their drinks menu. We'll dig into that topic and others on today's In the Mix as we go around the room with Nation's Restaurant News' editorial team, who will share their predictions on what's to come for 2023. We kick things off with NRN's Brett Thorne.
And I want to talk to you about a trend I'm expecting to see more of in 2023 that I'm calling ombre beverages. Ombre, like the hairstyle where you have two tones. Can't really demonstrate it on my own head for obvious reasons. Think about traditional beverages like cappuccino. And then recently, say the past 8 or 9 years, we've seen cheese tea, something that has that originated in Taiwan, where you take cream cheese and you thin it out with water or milk, and then add sugar or salt or both or neither, and you scoop that on top of iced tea usually. And then in the past few years, we've seen what Starbucks calls cold foam, and pretty much all of the major coffee chains have something like that now. And we're starting to see this also on lemonade. The big appeal of these ombre drinks isn't the flavor and texture contrasts, which are cool, but the visual appeal.
We now turn to the economy. I know, it's a bleak picture. Rent delinquencies remain high across several markets, and big players appear to be bracing for things to get worse.
Starbucks, McDonald's, and Wendy's have all announced corporate restructuring just this week, early in January still.
But there is some upside here.
We're starting to see inflation cool a little bit. It could also bode well for labor. As layoffs proliferate in other industries, some of that could flow into the restaurant industry, which is traditionally what happens.
So what kind of new restaurant concepts can we expect in 2023? Eatertainment, according to NRN's Ron Ruggles. Eatertainments combine food and fun. Basically, they're trying to think of new ways to attract consumers and to really elevate their experience inside their establishments.
So this Chicken and Pickle just opened in Grapevine, Texas. They've got restaurants that come with shuffleboard courts, trampoline parks, a little bit of everything.
Now, interestingly, this stands in contrast to many of the digital solutions we've seen restaurants invest in recent years as deliveries have taken over the market. It's led to a rise of ghost kitchens, turning dine-in food locations into a takeout-focused operation. Is this a trend here to stay?
I think that there will be more ghost kitchens, but hybrid ghost kitchens. So virtual brands and ghost kitchens that aren't just delivery only, and you can only access them via an app, but you can also visit them, see where they are, and pick up food from them. They just don't have dining rooms.
Now, while technology can reduce costs and streamline operations, these solutions can also be a burden on the bottom line if they don't all work together, if they're not interoperable. As a result, restaurants are simplifying the solutions that they're using.
In preparation for an impending recession, they're going to look to really button things up, streamline things, and try to save costs as much as they can. There's no better example of this, I think, recently than Clean Juice, the juice franchise out of Charlotte, North Carolina, with about 130 locations. They recently pivoted from hand pressing juices in-house for their bottled juices specifically to centralizing that process via the high pressure processing juice procedure. They do this in a facility out in California. Franchisees can order via their broadliner. Takes a lot of labor, money, and time just out of the restaurants themselves.
Like, obviously, the cost of goods on the products that we're shipping in is a little bit more expensive, but there's no labor involved, right? So you got to look at the whole picture. There's no waste, or the waste should be very, very little because they're selling through. Actually, I don't think any store has thrown out anything yet.
So there you have it. You're now in the mix with Nation's Restaurant News. For more coverage like this, be sure to check out nrn.com. Till next time, I'm Diana Blass.